Okay, harness is out. We have this thing on the bench. I reconnected that blue wire to where it goes. And we're ready to go. Parts. Burger time. Alright, let's do it. Everything should be hooked up correctly. I hear the speaker, that's good. Wait for the monitor, and it is just door nail dead. Door nail dead. Okay, so that kind of screams, because it's not even like doing anything rhythmic, or it's not making any changes I don't see. It's completely static. Because it's completely static, that kind of tells me that that CPU module is probably dead. It's kind of a killer of these boards, is that CPU module. So we're going to have to remove that thing. And the first thing I'll do is I'll check all of the ROM. I'll go ahead and do that because you never know. It could be a bad ROM. I don't think so because it's just static. So I don't think that's it. But let's check that anyway. Let's check all of the ROMs and the RAM. There is a CPU work RAM. It's a, I believe it's a 2016 that is soldered into this board. It might be socketed if we're lucky. But that is the working RAM for the CPU, the scratch RAM. And we'll go ahead and remove that and see if it's good, you know, and we'll check all of these too. We'll make sure that these ROMs are all what they're supposed to be. Yeah, that's just completely static. That's not a good sign. So okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's take these boards apart, and I'm going to start dumping and verifying all of the software first thing, and checking some RAM. And if that all checks out, we're going to have to remove that CPU module. Okay, I got these apart, and we lucked out. This has been replaced. We'll check the work, make sure there's no damage. So somebody was already barking up this tree, probably. Yeah, it's probably this. This thing's probably dead. But we'll check all this. This is easy to check. I'll check the work and make sure there's no broken traces or anything like that. I'm still going to check all the software because I don't want to be chasing my tail. I want to make sure this is all good. I'm going to make sure the RAM's good. I'm going to check all of this. This is actually the picture data, the sprite data. I believe this is the background data, and this is program. So we will, yeah, that's right. This is program, and this is background picture data. This is sprite picture data. And CPU's RAM. And this is the video RAM, I believe, is these two guys. Man, that's not much video RAM, is it? Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. That is not much RAM. Here's some. This is RAM, but this is just going to be, these three guys right here are going to be line RAM, I believe. Yeah. Maybe this is used for some of the video RAM as well. I don't know. Maybe some of it's shared, right? Who knows? We'll see. Anyway, let's get to this. Let me. I'm going to take some time. I'm not going to film any of that. I'm going to be dumping all of these ROMs, checking them, checking the RAMs and all that. And I will check back in after that's all done. And I'll let you know how it all came out. Okay. So after doing my ROM identing, and I checked these RAMs, there was a bag included with 2 ROMs and this RAM. This RAM obviously came out of the board, and this is the one that was in the board. They're both good, so but both the RAMs are fine. Now I did do all of the ROMs, and the interesting thing is Midway Burger Time is not in ROM ident. It only has Burger Time. It has B Time 1, and B Time 2, and B Time 3. I don't know if it has B Time 1, but B Time 2 and B Time 3. It does not have B Time M for Midway. It does not have Midway Burger Time in ROM ident. So all of the program ROMs came up unidentified. I put bad, but I don't think they're bad. They're just not. They're not in MAME. They're not in ROM ident. All of the program. The 2 ROMs that were in the bag were these 2, and they turned out to be AB04 was 9B and AB06 is 13B, and they did not match these 2 ROMs. This is 9B that has obviously been reprogrammed, and then 13B, which has obviously been reprogrammed. So those 2 are actually these 2, and these do not match these 2. So I'm going to assume that these 2 are correct, and these 2 are not correct. So I think I want to put it together with these 2 in those positions, because these are programmed, and then see what we get. All of the other ones, all of the graphics ROMs come up fine. 7K, which is one of the sprite ROMs, 7K comes up B Time 3 only. So, and that is actually Burger Time US, Data East USA, according to ROM ident. So it's just, I don't know, it's inconclusive with the program because it's not in ROM ident. So, but they're probably fine, is my guess. But I'm going to put these 2 aside. I'm going to use these 2 in those positions and go ahead, put all my programming stuff back up and put it back together with these 2 in and see if it does anything different. And if it doesn't, if it's still static garbage, then I'm going to have to remove that CPU module right there. Okay, so let's get to it. Alright, I got this thing put back together with the original EPROMs in the thing. And just making sure all the notches are straight. Everything looks good. And let's see if we get anything different. Anything different at all. Nothing. Completely static. Okay, yeah. Completely static. Alright, next step is we're going to remove that CPU module. Getting ready to remove that CPU socket. I'm going to have to remove this RAM socket as well because it's got a broken trace right there. And it's just messy. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that, fix that up proper, and get this all cleaned up. Alright. Make no mistake, this thing is a total pain in the ass to get off of here. But we got it off nice and clean. I've already cleaned up. That one's got I don't know what that's all about. What is that? Oh, it was just a piece of fuzz. That's a tough desolder, this thing, but we got it. We got it. So let's go ahead, and I do have one of these things handy. So we'll solder it in here, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 40 pin machine pin socket, cut it in half, put one half of it on this side of the board, put the other half on the other side of the board, put it in, turn it over, and then I'm going to solder it in. That way it'll be in right. Now I did forget to remove this socket while I had everything out, so I'm just going to repair the traces. I'm just going to repair the trace, and then I'll make sure all the other traces are good. It just looks like there's the one broken trace, so I'm going to go ahead and fix that one trace, and then I'm just going to leave that socket in there. Let's go ahead, let me get this thing populated with a new CPU 7 and check it out. Here's the CPU 7 board that I had laying around. I don't know what the wire's all about, but I know this one works. So I took a 40 pin machine pin socket, cut it in half, put it in on the pins, and now I'm going to put that on here and solder it in. Okay, I think we're done. I fixed this trace right here. It's a little bit dirty yet, but you can see where I soldered a little wire to the trace right there, and then I got this thing soldered in. So we've got our CPU 7 in. This thing should be good to go, fixed. So let's put it together and see what we get. Here's the old one, and see if it works. I wasn't recording. Darn it. I thought I was recording this whole time, and when I just hit the button to turn the camera off, it turned on. Oh, how anticlimactic. Yeah, I did the turning it on and everything, and it was nice. I had it all caught on camera, the first turn on. It works. It was the CPU 7 is dead. And I had to fix that RAM, the broken trace on the RAM. I can't believe I wasn't recording. Anyway, though, this this thing, I did the little song. I was like, dun, 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 dun. Dead. That was it. So I do need to put, I need to check the sound and make sure that our sounds are good. And after that, I just need to change the standoffs. I need to put taller standoffs on it so that this board doesn't sit on that CPU module. But yeah, there you go. 'Tis it. I'm going to go ahead and play this thing and make sure that we're make sure that it's working right, sounding good. All right, yeah, I don't know if I showed the top side of this, how nice this looks. Yeah, I'm getting ready. I'm just putting new standoffs, taller standoffs on here, so that this thing will not, the top board won't sit on top of this. So yeah, There you go. The cap don't look good. I'm going to replace that cap. You know what? I'll replace the power caps, power filters, because this one looks blowing out. It looks bulged up. So I'll go ahead and replace those while I'm at it. And yeah, might as well replace these electrolytics up here too. Do a little maintenance. Put new standoffs on here. And I did check the sound does work. So that's nice. Yep. So we'll go ahead and take care of all that. Be back. Alright, got all the electrolytics replaced. This one was actually broken off, so I replaced that. The easiest way to do this is to actually just remove the amp. So I just desolder and remove the amp, replace the caps. Now I'll put the amp back in and we'll be good to go. Alright, I got this all soldered back up and cleaned. Alright, so we're good to go. Old caps. So I'll put some taller standoffs on this thing and we'll fire it back up. And voila, there you go. 1-inch standoffs. You can see down there we got plenty of room. It's a 1-inch standoff. Nylon standoffs. Nice. So we'll go ahead and fire it up, make sure it still works. Alright, we're fired back up. I adjusted the colors a little bit. There we go. Looking good. And the sound does work. I don't have my joystick hooked up, but you can. It's on free play, I think. So let's just hit one player. No, it's not on free play. Yeah, it works good. I'll verify the controls. I don't have my Atari joystick hooked up, but I'm really happy we've got nice new capacitors all over the place. And this thing's should be ready for the long haul. I'm sure the controls work, but I'll just make sure of it. So, let me hook up Atari joystick and I'll be back. Probably tomorrow. I think I'm done for the night. I have to actually rewire the joystick to be able to do it. I might just like touch the wires to ground and make sure the movements work. I don't know. But anyway, I think I'm done for the night. So, see you tomorrow. Alright. I modified my harness and put a DB9 connector in to plug in my Atari joystick. And we're fired back up. So let's go ahead, put the camera on the tripod and play Burger Time. Okay, we're going lights off edition. And hopefully this joystick's going to be able to make the guy go right, because sometimes this has a bad connector. Well, we'll see. Let's go ahead, coin. And yeah, it won't go right. And that's this joystick. Yeah. Grab the Coleco joystick. plug it in. There we go. Alright, I'm going to play one more game. I had to grab the Coleco joystick, and now the Coleco joystick, the button doesn't work very good. So it's kind of a mess. There we go. Come on. Well, there you go. Burger time. Turn the lights back on. I have some controller woes. Alright, but that's it. Burger time. I'll leave this one running for a while. Just some cleanup. Little ROM verification. New CPU 7 module. Repaired broken traces on that RAM. Replaced all the capacitors. And just general cleanup and stuff. And there you go, burger time. $100. Alright. Big shout out to everyone who supports my channel through channel memberships, who supports the work I do through Patreon. I appreciate every one of you. You know who you are. And yeah, so let's everybody have a great day. Have a great week coming into the weekend. Hope everyone had a great 4th of July weekend. And we'll see you all on the next Classic Arcade Repair. Bye for now.